Good morning, Facebook audience. I'm here with Jen Rubinowitz. Hello, Jen. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm Jennifer Noreen, and I work for Beyond Brand Collective. And Jen and I have been working together to get the word out about her real estate business and Caldwell Banker in general in the Port Townsend, really we should say Jefferson County area. Many people tag Caldwell Banker with one community or the other, but really the truth is they work throughout all of Jefferson County, the Olympic and Kitsap Peninsulas.
Yeah.
So important to remember. So today we just, things are interesting with COVID now and the real estate market. I think people have kind of some questions and wonderings about selling their home or buying their home and what's going on. And, I think real estate did amazing despite COVID, but I guess some of my questions and some of the questions I hear out in the community are, is that still the case that it's still doing well despite COVID? And if it is that going to shift? And you're the one close to all that. So
Right.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about that?
Well, when COVID first hit last year, we were really worried because we didn't know what was going to happen. And it turned out to really drive a real estate boom because people realized that they didn't like their home. They were stuck in there and they found out about all the things that they didn't like about their house, or they wanted to move back closer to family because it really makes you think about what's important to you when you're going through something like that.
Sure.
So we thought last year was crazy, but this year is just as crazy. We're starting to see some things, we're starting to see some homes starting to reduce price. So the buyers, I think, have had to really be patient. I mean, some of them have written 5 or 6 offers and not made it to the end. And so some buyers have stepped back and said, I'm just going to wait till this market is less crazy. So we're starting to see signs that that's happening. We're seeing houses stay on the market a little bit longer, and we're starting to see some price reductions. And so it's, I just tell people to hang in there. When you're meant to get the house you're meant to have, it'll be there.
Yes. Yeah. And I can see why people would feel like, I don't want to pay more than I need to, or I don't want to buy a house because I think this is my last chance to, not making such a huge financial decision in a state of a little bit of panic, which I think people are feeling that. There's such a shortage in the Pacific Northwest, and yet we also have COVID going on, which is affecting the market. So
we're back to wearing masks inside everywhere now, which is fine. The Delta variant has reared its ugly head, and so we're just doing what we have to do to be safe and keep our clients safe as much as we can.
So if you tour a home, then you're doing masks, and are you also doing virtual tours still?
Doing what?
Are you doing virtual tours, or have you done?
Yeah. In fact, I was in Shelton over the weekend and did a showing down there to this cute little lakefront cottage, and it was virtual. And we put it under contract, and they're coming Tuesday for the inspection. So we're doing a lot of that.
Is that a Zoom call, or what is that? How does that work?
Say that again.
How do you do your virtual tours?
It depends. If I have iPhone. I love Apple. No commercial, just I love Apple.
Yeah.
So if they have an iPhone also, then I'll do FaceTime and just walk through the front door, and I just kind of give them a tour of the home, just like I would do if they were there with me. And then they can stop me and say, hey, would you look left again? What was that? And so they can guide me on what questions they have and what they're seeing. And
nice.
A lot of times I'll go, how big is that room? And I'm like, well, let me pace it off, and give them a general idea of the size of stuff. So
nice. So pretty simple, but works.
Yeah, I really try to talk through it as I'm walking to say, okay, I've just left the front door. This is your view from when you walk in, when you get home, and here's the kitchen. I just talked about everything that I'm seeing. So it's a little more of a challenge than an in-person showing because, I'm an introvert. And so I have to remember to talk and describe what I'm seeing. Whereas with an in-person viewing, I can just say, hey, make yourself at home, look around, imagine your furniture here. What do you think? And I don't have to, now there's the refrigerator and there's, I don't have to do a whole commentary as I'm walking through a house when they're in person.
You don't have to point everything out because they can see it. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so some shifts, some people hesitating, but really somewhat business as usual. And if there's a usual in the Pacific Northwest, which it's so much more in demand than so many other areas, it's hard to compare. But so the other thing I wanted to ask you about today is I know we had a video of your volunteering at Main Street. You're doing concerts on the dock. Mm-hmm. Docks or dock?
Concerts on the dock.
I think it's okay. And so tell me about that. And why is Main Street doing that? And well, first of all, what is Main Street?
Main Street started several years ago, actually. And it was because all the big box stores generally are built outside of town. And so the little mom and pop stores were really struggling to compete with that kind of activity. So to get people back into Main Street and bring Main Streets back alive, downtown areas were given grants and given support and help with renovation. And so it was a way to not lose our downtown areas. Mm-hmm. I first ran into it in Texas. I lived in McKinney, Texas. I moved there back in 1990. Mm-hmm. And, there were all these empty storefronts and just, you could tell it was struggling. And so I've had this trend where I move into a town, then I move again, and they get Main Street in. And so the whole downtown becomes vibrant. So I've done that twice with McKinney and with Georgetown, Texas, and gone back to visit, and it's just amazing. I mean, I could see what downtowns could be. So I was really thrilled to see that they'd gotten involved with Main Street. And I was involved with them at my third place down on the coast in Aransas Pass and trying to get Main Street going there. And so when I came to Port Townsend, I didn't have to worry because it was already there and I don't have to move.
Nice. So is it a nonprofit that has events?
It's a nonprofit. They have a director that's part of the program, mm-hmm. and there is a federal program as well as a state program. So they just promote the downtown businesses and support the downtown businesses as much as possible. And it's marketing, it's business advice, it's emergency loan help if something goes wrong, you get flooded or something and you've got to have some financial help, working on facades, doing Christmas lights, doing community events. And so what you experienced was concerts on the dock, which is something that our Main Street in Port Townsend does in the summer. And we were so happy that COVID had kind of not gone away, but it had lessened enough that we felt confident that we could do outdoor concerts. Mm-hmm. So every Thursday, we go from 5 to 7 and have some live concerts, and it also supports the local musicians. So it brings people into downtown and just supports our little downtown area.
So concerts on the dock is the last one this Thursday?
Yeah, it's this Thursday is the last one. Because generally then we get some, colder weather and people aren't as thrilled about being outside.
And what time is it at?
5 to 7 p.m.
And what's the band?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Not the Merrymakers. I'll just say
they were last week. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't remember which band is playing.
That's okay. I'll say live music. I can put it on your Facebook page too. So you can check Jen's Facebook page for details about this Thursday's event. I was there last week, and it was so sunny and warm and fun. And these people were just, throwing their cares away and dancing. It was so fun to watch.
It was so fun. And, even though we're outside, there's less of a risk, and we're feeling pretty good about that. Mm-hmm. We also support the local vineyard. They serve wine, and our local brew pubs provide beer. And we also have a local cidery that provides cider. So it's really nice.
Nice.
It's really a lot of fun.
Put this up there on the screen one more time, but you can check Jen's Facebook page for this as well, and her Instagram will have this on there this week. We'd love to see you, and you can usually find Jen at the beer and wine ticket table. Are you going to do that again?
Yeah, we added credit cards this year, so that's helped a lot.
Nice. And what is free? So attending is obviously free.
Oh yeah, the entrance is totally free.
Okay.
And families are welcome too. It's just they have to stay outside the beer garden.
Okay. Okay, very cool. And the live music, and then there's areas for dancing, and it's just kind of sitting there on the water. It's a
And it's
beautiful.
right on the water. It's just
Yeah,
gorgeous. Yeah, it's a lot
beautiful.
of fun.
Yep, looked like it. Okay, so I understand now why you're involved in that. So is it more than just volunteering at these events, or is it also, do you go to meetings, or what else?
I'm on the board, and
Mhm.
so we have monthly meetings and of course committee meetings. Like I'm on the design committee, and one of the projects we did this year was down by the vineyard, and between Nifty Fifties and the vineyard, there was that little Adams Parklet, and so we designed a whole new furniture area so that people can just sit and look at the water and just enjoy
Nice.
that little park a little more.
Yeah,
We
nice.
do
So just,
cleanups, multiple times a year, and
mhm.
we plant plants, and
Yep.
we just do what we can to support our downtown.
It's a great idea because, more and more people want to live in towns like that, but those towns don't always get the support they need. I lived in a couple of those in Texas as well, so I know what you're saying. They're all over the country, where all that sort of vintage, fun characters, stores, and even the homes that surround just the whole thing.
Yeah.
Even one bad store that's not open anymore can kind of ruin the block. So, it's fun to see an organization reaching out to address that. I think it's going to just contribute a lot of
It's a great program. I mean, I didn't recognize McKinney when I went back to visit. It was like, oh my gosh, this is great.
Yeah.
It's vibrant. It brings vibrancy back to your downtowns.
Yeah. So it's mainstreet.com, I believe.
Probably org.
Oh, okay.
For us, it's ptmainstreet.org.
Okay.
But if you Google Main Street, you'll get a full scope of what's out there from the federal and the state levels.
Okay, sounds good. All right, well, thanks. It's good to visit with you, and hope to see you Thursday. I'm going to do my best to get down there again and take your picture. And anything else you want to share about what's going on? And are you busy? Are you busy selling and buying?
We're very busy.
Yep.
We're very busy, which is a good thing.
Yep.
We are a little, not worried, but it's a little more effort to keep the buyers calm because they've come out of a really competitive market. And so, the best time to buy a house though is always 5 years ago. So we're not in a bubble. We're still seeing that steady growth that we've seen over the last 10 years in our area.
Yeah.
So you just have to have faith and know that when the house is meant for you, you will have it. You will work.
Yes. And there's, I know there's a shortage, but there's still communities that are developing and growing and expanding. And I mean, the area that you're in is a great example. There's always, it just seems like people are willing to move further out as well. And with people working at home, they can do that. So
exactly.
There's more options than people realize.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
The thing is, our sales numbers are better than last year, but things are staying on the market for fewer days. So that's giving the perception that we have low inventory, but in fact, things are just getting snapped up quicker.
It's just more aggressive.
Right.
So I'm going to show this one more time, and I'll take the Main Street information off there real quick. But here's how you get a hold of Jen if you want to work with her. If you're looking to sell, or you don't know if you want to sell, or if you're looking to buy, certainly. This is how you can get a hold of her.
And we've got a great team in Port Townsend. I just love my guys.
There we go. Yes.
And also in Port Ludlow too. We've got another office in Port Ludlow. So.
Yes. So if you're out in that area, you can contact either office. They would love to help you. So thanks for your time, and we'll be talking to you again.
All right. Thanks. Thanks, Jennifer.